Hello again, everyone. I have my jacket on inside because it's winter time and I never turn on my heater. Well, it's not winter, but it's fall, and for us, fall is like winter for you in California. So it's already relatively cold. And sometimes I can even see my breath inside, so that's not good. But yeah, and I know how much you like my hoodlum jacket because I saw all your comments on Facebook. So it's a nice jacket. Anyways, lots of things have been happening. I had the Halversons here with me a couple weeks ago. It was nice to see them, and they came almost exactly 1 year from the time that Steve and Christy were here last year. So it's kind of funny having both pastors. So I guess Greg is supposed to come next year. That's how the pattern shows it, at least. So, but it was really fun having them here and seeing them again and being encouraged by them and spending time with them. He and Kristen had 2 meals with me and meals with Sam and meals with Samuel. So it was good to have them. And then when I took them back to the airport, their flight was at like 4 or 5 in the morning or something. So I had to get up at 2 to get to the center in time. And so it was pretty fun because I had to go there so early. And by the time I got back, it was 6:30, which is the time I might normally wake up. And I went back to bed at that time and got up about 12. And the whole day I just felt in the twilight zone. But it was a fun experience. Um, and I'm thankful for the books they brought because they brought me 2 translations of the Bible that I had at home, King James and a New International, and also 2 works of Jonathan Edwards, which I'm really thankful to have, and I've missed them. So thank you for that. And they also brought 2 cards that you guys wrote for me, and I'm really thankful for your encouragement and for your gifts and your kindness towards me in that manner. So thank you. We also had a world religions class. A professor from one of the colleges was here to teach the students, and all of us missionaries went for 1 week to hear about different world religions and what they believe. And that was a very, very fun experience also. Also, we just had a baptism. If you guys remember Manuel, who it's been about a year now that I've mentioned him because I met him last Thanksgiving. He finally got baptized 2 Sundays ago. So I wanted to take a video of it, but I was the mop guy, or as Sam would call it, the Godfather. I was the Godfather's guy who has to clean up the mop, the water that falls off the guy who gets baptized. So that was my job, and I couldn't video record it. But we inflated our little pool and filled it with water the night before, and we have no way of heating it practically. So it was freezing when he got baptized. It was pretty funny to watch his facial expression change once he steps in the water and just. But it was really good to see him get baptized. But do pray for him and for his family because it seems that Satan always gets really mad whenever somebody gets saved, and I think his family, or I don't exactly know what, but I know he's having difficulty because he's a Christian now. So if you could just keep him and his family in prayer, he would really appreciate that. And so I'll tell him you're all praying for him. We also just had a Thanksgiving dinner. We had one was it 2 nights ago now, I think. Yeah, 2 nights ago. And we had another one before that. We did 2 Thanksgiving outreaches in 2 different places, and they went well. And our last one we had about 160 people, if I'm not mistaken. And if you're on Facebook, you might have seen a video of it. There's a nice video compilation. You should look for it on my Facebook page. I know I'm tagged in it, so you can find it. It'll show you what it was like. So it was good. The whole gospel got preached, and we got to meet lots of new people and new people to follow up with and do our work with. And they all came together because there's a lady named Maureen who teaches an English class, and she teaches it in a bigger scale than the way that I teach and the way other people teach. So she knows lots of people through it and invites them all, and also people from previous classes. And so she just had tons of people to invite. So it was really good. Yes, and I personally have been teaching some private lessons for people who want to learn English. And while I was distributing my little flyers that I made that say contact Lorenzo for free English lessons, I left him in a bar a couple months ago, and the people who worked at that bar were a little bit impressed because I would do this thing for free. And I went back to that bar a few days ago, remembering that they had a good impression of me, and they even remembered me. And because they were so shocked, no, not shocked, but amazed, but that somebody would do something for free like that, which is not common, especially in Italy. they wanted to ask me why and find out more, and I got to even share my whole testimony, telling about how God had given me so much that I'm ready to give much to others for nothing. And so hopefully I'm going to go back to that bar again. Bar, by the way, is a coffee house. It's not like a tavern like you think of. We say bar for coffee house. It's just the same thing in Italy. Um, yeah, so I'm going to go back there in a few days and hopefully get to follow up on that again. So God really has ways of making his kingdom be known to people. And like Christ said, they will know you're my disciples through your love. And that's one way of loving people, is doing things for free for them. And they could definitely see something that's different. So I'm hoping to get to share the gospel with them more. And their names are Tina and Mauro, if you want to pray for them, the people who work at that bar. The other thing I'll mention is our Parakeet project. I have here another poster. This is the second round, and hopefully it's somewhat visible. I know it's all on a time, but it basically says why live, why it's backwards on my screen, so it's hard to read. Why is there no love? Why is there suffering? Questions like that. Why is there no peace? Why is there suffering? Why do I feel empty? How come politics can't handle the country very well, and things like that. So we put that all up over the city again, like we did last time, and we're just about to release our third wave that says "Discover Why," and it'll have it's what's called a QR scan. Here's one of my fruit juice here. It's going to have one of these things on it that you scan, and it takes you to the website where they can get a free booklet that answers these questions, or they can listen to an audio file, or they can contact us. And basically, we've got this new thing called perchepordenone.com, or .it as we say. And people can contact that or reach us through that instead of having to go to a church website, which we find kind of intimidating for people. If you scream God and religion and all that, people just kind of get scared and they run away. But we're hoping with this kind of as an intermediary between the church and the people will feel more comfortable. So we'll have this new website, this new entity, as I call it, hopefully for years to come, that we'll be building off of. So it's been a very interesting project. God willing, it'll be blessed. But we're yet to see what will happen because we're not finished with it yet. So that's good. You can keep praying for that. My friends Stefano and Andrea that I mentioned last time, I've seen a few more times, but they need prayer. I've shared the gospel with them, but so far, nothing. But you never know, because it's a process. I'm still in contact with them, though. I still see them, so keep praying for them. But unfortunately, I can't say that they've gotten saved yet. Last thing I'm going to show you, I got this. The Jehovah's Witnesses, bless them, gave me this thing. It's called Let Us Reason Together Using the Scriptures. And it's basically the cheat book that they use. If you get an argument with them, they pull out this book, and it says basically if they say this, you say this, and all their arguments. So if you have one of these, you can easily find out the things they don't know how to answer. So I'm really, really thankful for this. It's kind of a fun thing to have. It's all written in Italian and everything, and I got them to give it to me. I had a couple of Jehovah's Witnesses coming to my house regularly once a week, and I tried to reason with them and help them, but it fizzled out. But at the end of it, I got that, so that's cool. I'm also thankful for good health. It's been about a year, and I haven't had any kind of a cold or anything too significant, so I'm just really thankful and praising God for that. Unlike some people on the team who get sick a lot, God has really blessed me with good health, so I'm very thankful for that. And the very last thing that I want to share is talking about the Holy Spirit. I've been thinking so much about evangelism and people getting born again and realizing that no matter how much logic or reason I use, not enough. I cannot change somebody's mind. And I always knew this, theoretically, because it's clear in the Bible. But it's another thing to experience it and to wrestle with people for so long and see them not change their mind, like the Jehovah's Witnesses. And so I've just been praying to God a lot about the Holy Spirit and that He would fill me with Him, and reading passages that talk about the filling of the Holy Spirit. And it's a commandment. Even in Ephesians it says, don't get drunk with wine, but be filled with the Spirit. if it's a commandment, so it's not talking about you being born again, because why would you command something that's already done? So it's a state that we're supposed to be in, I think. And I've just been asking God to fill me with His Spirit every day. And when you look in the Bible, that means lots of things. Lots of things happen when people get filled with the Holy Spirit. There doesn't seem to be any limit. And I've found big results. I've found when I'm distributing tracts and I ask Him to help me, to fill me, I walk faster, I'm more joyful, I'm more open to talking to people. Um, when I'm with others and I ask Him to fill me, I'm more humble, I'm more happy around them, I care more about them. So I've just really been enjoying studying this topic and seeking God's blessing through it. So if you want to pray for me, pray that He would fill me with the Holy Spirit. And if you want to pray for our team, pray that God would fill the whole team with the Holy Spirit. And I think if God does that, it basically covers every other spiritual blessing that you could ask for. Like I ask you to help me by praying that I would be humble, help me by praying that I would be loving. Well, if I'm filled with the Holy Spirit, I have all those things. So if you ever want to pray for Garrett, just say, God, fill him with the Holy Spirit. And that's a lot for me. So that's it for this time. I hope to hear from you guys and to keep in contact with you. It's always good to talk to you, to let you know how I'm doing, and I hope you're all doing well. So God bless.